Welcome. Happy Saturday. I'm so glad that we could be here together today. Today's focus is going to be no challenge, no change, the theme of our class today. And when you think about no challenge, no change, we can really kind of span that theme throughout our personal lives, our physical fitness, our mindset, whatever it is. Um, Whenever we challenge ourselves is when we offer opportunities for change. And so today's practice, I want you to think of that concept, that theme of no challenge, no change. There might be poses that we do today that maybe do challenge us, or maybe we don't like them, or maybe they don't maybe necessarily I don't know, maybe we don't connect with them. And I want you to try to see throughout your practice today, what type of attitude are we taking towards those challenging moments? And try to see how we can embrace this opportunity to change and shift that thought process towards whatever it is we're doing, whether it's the flow, whether it's maybe doing a bit more of our grounding work that we'll do today. Maybe it's just focusing on staying positive in our minds. And when we do that over time and we really challenge ourselves to be in tune with our attitude, is really when we invite change into our lives, into our bodies, and into our hearts, and of course, our minds. So today we're going to begin. We're going to find ourselves in a comfortable position. As always, we're going to begin with our breath work. We are going to focus a little bit on hips today. So just so you know, that's one of our little focal points today. But let's go ahead and get comfortable. However you'd like to, maybe lying down on the floor, maybe sitting up on a chair, maybe sitting on your bolster. I encourage you to begin your practice today by noticing any challenges you might experience just by finding the space, by finding your seated, lying down. Maybe you're figuring out where your body needs to be. Maybe you're realigning your mind and trying to quiet down that chitti vritti, that monkey mind. And as you're just getting yourself settled here and we get ourselves kind of in our space, we want to look at just this simple act of inviting breath into our body. And notice any challenges you may have with that. Maybe you notice your breath not necessarily being as full as you'd like it to be. See if your attitude has any sort of negative words or something that tends to just pop up in the head. And then see if you can shift that mindset and just allow yourself to breathe without any sort of labeling, any sort of association of maybe that idea that we're not doing it right. And then as you take each breath, maybe you notice the fluidity of the breath starting to be invited into the body. Maybe by allowing yourself to shift that attitude, you allow yourself room. And maybe in this case, it's room to breathe, room to stay connected, room to just be. Maybe the simple act of sitting here in silence and focusing on breath is a challenge. And maybe that's the information you need to effectuate change. Maybe you feel like it's hard or you feel restless. And those are cues. Those are opportunities for growth. Because sometimes what makes us feel uncomfortable is the things we need to run towards directly the most. Because growth does not come from easy things. They come from things that we need to work directly through. We grow when we work through those challenges and we learn. So I want you to think of something that challenges you in your yoga practice. Maybe it's the act of sitting and just breathing. Maybe it's certain movements. Maybe it's a specific pose. And I want you to remember that moment. And maybe if we touch upon it today, I want you to look at that challenge, maybe with this new perspective, this new attitude. And see how just shifting our space gives us that opportunity to grow. Let us take a big inhale to the belly and a big exhale out of the mouth. Let's repeat a few more times. Breathe in. And one last one. Beautiful. Let us all meet with our hands at heart center and a gentle bow of our head towards our hands. As we are here in recognition of the light that shines within us all, let us set our intentions for our practice today. Maybe your intention is stated as an I am statement. Maybe it is a simple string of words. Maybe it is a mantra. Whatever is calling to you today, please invite it into your heart. As you're ready, start to open your eyes, invite the room into your space. Maybe offer a little movement of the neck and a little blinking of the eyes and a little softening of the jaw. Let the shoulders release away from the ears. Let the fingers feel soft. Wonderful. When you're ready, let us meet back through center, releasing the neck forward, and then let's come to our all fours position. So if you're lying down, let us make our way up. If you were lying down with those head circles, hopefully that felt okay. And let's come to our tabletop position with our hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips, tops of the feet resting down to the floor as we're going to make our way into some cat-cows. As we begin here with our hands spread out wide, with our elbows soft and our shoulders rolled back and our abdominals pulled in, let us begin to inhale, tilting the pelvis forward, opening up the heart. Exhale, pull the belly in, round through the spine. Let the chin dress towards the heart. As you breathe in, Let us deepen the breath to the belly. As you breathe out, let us release whatever it is that's not serving us. Now, I'd like to invite our Ujjayi breath here into our practice today. And as you know, breath practice, pranayama, is essential and is part of our yoga practice, and essential to well-being, calming of the nervous system. In particular, I gravitate towards Ujjayi because it is a centering breath. It really allows us to just focus, allows us to center our mind and our body. So as you breathe in through the nose, deepen that breath to the belly. And as you breathe out through the nose, I'd like you to constrict the throat. Maybe create a sound loud enough for your neighbor, if you had one next to you, to hear. Like you're creating that ocean's breath. And as you breathe in, fill the body. As you breathe out, release the body of whatever it is you need to let go of. I would like you to start noticing as you're breathing in and moving your body with one breath and one movement, notice how it coordinates, it works together in unison. Maybe it allows you that opportunity to really connect into the body and feel that oneness. Also that release. When you're ready, let's complete one more cat, one more cow. Beautiful. Let's slowly make our way back into our tabletop position. And we're going to shift our hips right to left, left to right. Some gentle movement laterally. Maybe you start to create a little bit of S's with the body by moving in through the shoulders. If at any time your wrists start to feel a little fatigued, feel free to create fists for wrists. So maybe bringing the hands down, giving your wrists a little break, or maybe you even set some yoga blocks underneath your hands to release a little bit of weight off the wrists. When you're ready, let us come back in towards center and let us set our hands down or make them comfortable. Bring the left knee in towards center as we lift the right leg up towards the side here. So knee is right parallel with the hips. And we're going to create some gentle hip circles here. Just opening up the hip, engaging through the glutes, just warming up the glutes here. Moving through the hip joint. The hip circle can be as big or as small as you like. Remember that the theme is no challenge, no change. Now, that doesn't mean discomfort or pain. It just means we can feel sensation. If it feels discomforting or painful, maybe we need to modify. Maybe we reverse our circle in the opposite direction. Tuning into your breath, continuing that Ujjayi breath, creating those circles, engaging through the glutes, creating some movement through the hips. Pressing the hands into the floor to keep the shoulders supported. Beautiful. Let's complete one more circle. And then let's draw the knee down to the floor, press back onto the heels, give the glutes and the hips a little break. Relax the shoulders for a moment here. And let's peel ourselves back into our tabletop position, reset the hands underneath the shoulders, draw in the right knee in towards center, lift the left leg up towards that 90 degree, and then start our leg circles here, just our hip circles here. Now, as we're doing this, we're focusing on maintaining that length through the spine. The head stacks on top of the rest of the spine. Remember, we can take any breaks we need as we're moving here, recognizing what works best for our body. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and reverse our circle, opposite direction. Make sure you make those circles as small or as big as feels good for your body. Beautiful. Let's do a couple more. And then let's go ahead and make our way back in through center, resting the left knee down, pressing back into our child's pose. Knees wide, big toes together, arms outstretched forward, dropping the hips away, softening the back of the body, remembering to find some space for the forehead. If it doesn't quite come down to the floor, you can always use your hands as a tower to raise the forehead off the floor and support the neck. Now, as we find ourselves in our child's pose here, take a moment here to breathe into the back of the body, to release the hips and to allow the tailbone to drift down towards the heels. Maybe even take a little leg off, a little stress off the shoulders here by allowing the elbows to float down to the floor. If reaching the arms overhead doesn't feel like it needs to be there, bend the elbows, bring them in closer to your body. Now, as you're here in your rest, we're going to take a moment to release any thoughts of challenge and change here. And just remembering that when we take time to rest and to realign our bodies, we are inviting change. We are inviting, almost in some ways, more of what we might need in our lives, that moment of break, that moment of pause. And that in itself is an opportunity to change and shift. This could also be a point where it's challenging because we want to move our bodies and move from one pose to the next. So maybe that's something that we need to focus on, just allowing ourselves this moment of pause. Now from here, let's go ahead and lift the forehead a few inches off the floor and tense the fingers so that the heel of the hands is lifted off the floor and the tips of the fingers are pressing down into the floor. Walk the hands, stay lifted over to the left side, pressing down through the right hip, opening up the back of the body, opening up the ribs, opening up the shoulder. Beautiful. Make your way back in towards center, over to the other side, right side. Take that left arm out, press down through the left hip, opening up the shoulder, the back of the body. Beautiful. Let's make our way back in towards center, shift our weight slightly up. We're going to take that right arm off the floor, reaching it out, and we're going to needle and thread underneath and twist towards the left. Dropping down into the hips, giving the shoulders a little rotation here, twisting through the upper thoracic spine. Now, if that left arm reaching tall does not feel right for you, bring it in closer. Maybe you want to open up the left shoulder and set that left hand at the low part of the back and just twisting towards the left side, resting the head towards the floor. Try to ease into this pose. If you notice you're tensioning the body, you notice your mind kind of pulls yourself into a space of, I'm not sure about this. Take a look at what you're saying to yourself here. How can we shift that thought process here and make it better for ourselves? Let's go ahead and raise our body off the floor. Release the right hand long. Press back into child's pose. Just give that reset of the low back. From here, let's shift up. Take the left hand out to the side, needle and thread in underneath the right arm, twisting towards the right side, pressing down into the hips. Maybe we're taking care of our right arm and just bringing it in a little closer. Maybe we're setting the right hand at the low part of the back. Beautiful. Now let's go ahead and release that right arm, unwind the left from underneath the right, press back one more time into child's pose. Now as you're ready, we're going to inhale, roll forward. Bring the knees in a little closer to center so that they're underneath the hips. And we're going to exhale, empty the belly, round the spine, inviting a little bit of length into the low back here. And from here, I'd like you to press gently into the heel of the hand and shift your hips back until you get to that point where you start to feel a little bit of that opening from midway through the thoracic spine all the way down to the lumbar area. And then inhale, shift forward, find your tabletop position, tilt the pelvis, find your cow. Exhale, empty the belly, round and spine into your spine, press the hands into the floor, shift back. And I just want you to explore this motion here. Try not to force it. Try to invite the opening, try to find the release. And then go ahead and shift forward, tilt the pelvis forward, find your cow. Last one, empty the belly. Inhale, shift back. Beautiful. And let's go ahead, shift forward, tilt the pelvis, find your cow. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and find our neutral spine. We're going to curl the toes under, prepare for downward facing dog. Spread the hands wide, curl the toes, shift the hips back, start to lengthen and lift the knees off the floor and lengthen the legs as you shift your pelvis up to the sky. I'd like us to take a moment here to just find our downward dog. Release the shoulders away from the ears, press the heels down towards the floor. Press the hands into the floor, maybe even invite a little opening up the shoulders by opening up the hands wide. Start to pedal the feet one at a time. As you do, you're dropping the heels down, you're giving the calves, the back of the legs a nice little stretch. We're releasing the belly, the heart space down. So feel that opening of the heart space. So soften that space. Release the neck, release the jaw, release the eyes. Find that breath. Remember, you can always stay in tabletop position, maybe go through some cat-cows if downward dog is not within our wheelhouse today. Beautiful. Now, whenever you're ready, let's go ahead. We're going to drop our heels down. If you're in downward dog, just take a moment here. If you're in tabletop position, we're going to make our way to the top of our mat. So if you're in downward dog, we're going to walk our feet towards our hands. You can hop it if it's within your practice. If you're in tabletop, we're going to make our way into a forward fold. And as we make our way to our forward fold, I'd like you to invite a wide stance here. You can always place yoga blocks underneath your hands to raise the floor to meet your body. As we come into our forward fold here, we're going to invite a little release of the back here. Maybe we grab our elbows to opposite hands and give ourselves a little hug here, and then allow ourselves a little shifting or side to side motion just to release the low back here. Try to release the neck. Now, if your legs are feeling a little less lengthened as you'd like to be, bend the knees. Make it work for your body. Invite the challenge, but make the modifications to make it work for your body. Beautiful. As we slowly let our pendulum kind of come in through center, allow the arms to drift down. I'd like you to hang like a rag doll here and notice here just for a brief moment any parts of the body that are a little bit more restricted. See if you can release them into the, just release your body forward. Release the mind, soften the mind. Now from here, let's go ahead and bend the knees. And we're going to place one hand on our right thigh, left hand on the left, and roll through vertebrae by vertebrae, restacking each part of the bones along the spine as we come into a standing position, making our way into Tadasana. Feet face forward, palms outstretched, feet energized down from the earth all the way up to the top of the crown. Palms face forward and spread. Shoulders are open, heart is open, gaze is forward. From here, I'd like you to just notice the feet connecting down to the floor. Notice any part of the pelvis that might be tilting forward. See if you can pull the belly in just gently enough that you've got the engagement of the core. You feel solid here. Your feet are grounded, the toes are grounded. From here, we're going to take some breath. So I'd like you to breathe in, press the feet into the floor, extend the arms overhead, and then exhale, release the arms down to the side. Let's do 3 big breaths here. Breathe in, tall through the body. Exhale, breathe out, release the shoulders. Release your mind, release your body. Breathe in. Beautiful. And breathe out, release. Now I'd like us to do one more, and I want you to breathe in nice and tall here. And this time we're going to take it into a swan dive forward. Reach forward, forward fold. Heart reaches down towards the floor. Head reaches down towards the floor. Bend the knees, sweep the arms all the way tall. Use the arms and the legs. Reach tall. And then exhale, release. Swan dive it down. We're going to do 2 more like this. Bend the knees, sweep the arms, use the strength of the legs. Continue to press into the floor as you reach your body tall, reaching to be able to invite length through the spine here. The next time you find yourself reaching tall with the arms outstretched towards the sun, lift the gaze. Take the hands, interlace the fingers. Take the pointed finger and the thumb and reach up towards the sky. Pull the belly in, lift up, and let's find a gentle extension here. Beautiful. Let's find our neutral spine. Release the hands to the side of our body, maybe resting the hands at the hips. Shoulders are going to roll back and down. As you lift the chest up towards the sky, we continue to bring the shoulders behind us, lift the sternum up, finding a little gentle extension here. Pull the belly in. Notice if you're popping in through the pelvis, reaching forward. Try to pull the belly in and tuck the tail under. And just notice the lifting of the upper part of the rib cage and the heart space. The shoulders pull back to invite that opening of the heart. Beautiful. As you're ready, release the hands, swim them forward, interlace the fingers, press the palms away, drop the chin, pull the belly in, let the tailbone release, give the shoulders a little opening here. Keeping the fingers interlaced, bring the hands above your head, gazes forward. Take the hands, interlace the fingers, and then let's dip over to the left. Side bend here. Now with the fingers interlaced, pointed finger up to the sky, thumb faces back. Inhale back through center, over to the other side. Stay tall, pull through the belly. Press the feet into the floor, ground yourself. Inhale back through center. Let's do that one more time. Breathing in through center, exhale over to the side. Beautiful. Inhale through center, release the hands to the side of your body. Just take a moment of pause here to release the shoulders. Beautiful. Let's move through our sun salutations. We're going to do a half sun salutation. So as you're ready, let's press the feet into the floor. Breathe in, reach the body tall. Exhale, swan dive it down. Pull in through the belly, lead with the heart, forward. Down to a forward fold. Inhale, half arch, gazes forward towards the floor, head reaches forward, tailbone reaches back. Exhale, release the body, release the back. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up tall. As we come into our chair, I'd like you to shift your hips back, pull the belly in. Find your chair pose. Bring the palms to your heart center. If you would like to come into a twist, here's your opportunity. If you don't want to, stay where you are. Left elbow towards the outer of the right knee, square off the shoulders, press the palms together. I want you to feel very, very supported here. Remember, there are so many variations of twisted chair. We can do it high, we can do it low, we can do it with our hands at our heart. On your next inhale, swift back towards center, let the body release forward. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms tall, reaching tall. Palms interlace, palm fingers up to the sky, thumbs back. Exhale over to the left. Maybe there's a bit more room now. Inhale through center, exhale to the right. Beautiful. Inhale through center, swan dive. One more sun salutation, forward fold. Release the body. Inhale, half arch, lead with your heart forward. Exhale, release down to the floor. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms. Use the legs here, engage to the glutes here. Exhale, find your chair, shift back. Beautiful. Bring the hands to your heart center, either staying here. Make sure you're being careful to keep your spine nice and long and your tailbone from arching or tilting up. Keep your abdominals pressed in. Twist towards the left. Left outside of the knee, right elbow. Maybe we do a high twist. Keep your knees really energized and neutral here. So we're not shifting with that right knee forward as we come into our twist. We're trying to keep the knees aligned. Beautiful. Come back through center. Release down to a forward fold. Bend the knees. Sweep the arms. One last time into our side bends. Interlace the fingers. Palm, pointed finger to the sky. Thumbs back. Exhale to the left. Inhale through center, exhale to the right. Inhale through center, release the hands, find Tadasana. Let's take a moment of pause here. Now, as we take this moment of pause, I want you to just reflect upon, just for a brief moment here, what we just did. During that time, were there any snippets of something that popped into the mind that was resisting any sort of the challenge that we may have experienced? Maybe there was no challenge, so there was no resistance. Maybe there was challenge. Where did your mind go? Were you able to maybe look at the challenge with a different perspective, a different embrace? As you take your next inhale, let's sweep the arms up towards the sky. And we're going to make our way into our warrior one. Take the right foot back to a 45-degree angle. Front knee stacks on top of the left elbow, left knee ankle. Your right hip is going to square off here. So I'd like you to imagine you've got two headlights at the top of your hip bones and they're directly ahead of you. Arms outstretched. Now from here, we're going to shift our way into our warrior two. Back leg adjusts. Heels are aligned. Arms are outstretched. Reaching tall. Pulling in through the belly. Centered here. Front knees stacked on top. Maybe you need to adjust the back leg to be able to create a little bit more space here. Reaching fingertip to fingertip. Gazes beyond the first two fingers here. From here, we're going to shift forward, find our reverse warrior, pull up through that left arm, keep the left knee anchored above the ankle, right arm reaches back, pull up through the rib cage. Beautiful. Let's make our way back into warrior two. Drop the shoulders here. Shift forward, elbow to the left knee, reach tall, right arm above our head. Energize through the side body here, pull up through the belly. Beautiful. Now using our core, we're going to pull up reverse warrior, shift from our extended side angle, coming right into our reverse warrior. Feel that opening through the right hip here. Pulling up through the core to keep that pelvis aligned. Open up the heart space. Beautiful. Let's take that left arm, warrior two. Now I'd like you to pivot that left foot forward. Arms outstretched. We're going to toe heel the feet. Beautiful. Arms are going to outstretch. And then from here, feet are facing forward. I'd like you to turn the feet out. Toes out, heels in, bend the knees. Find your goddess pose. We're going to hang out here for a few breaths. And as you're in this pose, which is quite challenging, notice the challenge. Notice the perspective that we take on it. Beautiful. Let's spread the arms up above the head, reaching tall. Find our five-pointed star. Bend the knees, sweep the arms down. Let's find our sunflowers. Reaching tall, exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. Now, as you're moving here, can you find a sense of ease within the legs, within the arms? Beautiful. Let's do 2 more. Let's all meet in our 5-pointed star. Spread the palms. Let's pivot that back foot to a warrior 1 position, 45-degree angle. Reaching tall through the heart, arms outstretched, hip bones face forward, other side. Take a moment of pause here. On your next exhale, pivot, warrior 2. Shift your weight forward, palms open, reverse warrior. Now there was a shift there. If you noticed, your arms were probably feeling tired. Now we're getting this reprieve. Notice how you can embrace that challenge we just had to where we are now. Let's swim that right arm over through to warrior 2. Drop the shoulders. Try to ease into this. Right elbow to the right knee, extended side angle. Reach the body long. Swim that left arm back, right arm forward, find that warrior 2, and then transition reverse warrior. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and make our way in through warrior 2. Take the right foot, pivot forward, both feet facing forward. Let's bring the hands to the hips, finding our straddle splits. But before we do that, you know, I love to say this is our superhero pose, right? Every day you should wake up in the morning and you should put those hands on those hips and remember that you are a superhero. Let's go ahead and lead with our heart forward. Feel the opening of the back of the leg, softening of the heart, the length through the spine. Soften the knees. Give the back a little stretch. Rest the hands down towards the floor. Maybe spread the hands wide, soften the shoulders, let the head drift down, and just kind of ease yourself here. Giving the low back, the spine, the back of the legs, some release and some reprieve. Remember, we can always modify by bending the knees or raising the earth to meet our body with some blocks underneath the hands. From here, perhaps we walk the hands a few paces over to the left, opening up that right side of the body. Maybe we come through center and walk our hands over to the right, opening up the left side of the body. Notice at any point here where it starts to feel challenging physically, just ease yourself into it. Try to soften the space. Come back through center. Go ahead and toe heel your feet so that you make your way into a forward fold here. Releasing the neck forward, maybe shaking the head no. Maybe shaking the head yes. Beautiful. From here, let's bend the knees and start to roll ourselves up, press the feet into the floor. And let's make our way to standing. Wonderful work, everyone. Let's go ahead and make our way into our balancing pose. We're going to begin with our tree pose. So left heel towards the right ankle or the inner shin or the inner thigh. Maybe we explore with our arms where we can take our pose today. Keeping the hips open, possibilities endless. We all know that when we open ourselves up to challenge, we are opening ourselves up to change. We give ourselves that opening to see what we're capable of. We don't limit ourselves. We remain curious. We remind ourselves that we are more than what we tell ourselves. And we're capable of anything. Go ahead and release. Nice job. Let's give your ankles a little twirl here. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and set ourselves up into the other side. Let's go ahead and release. Nice job, everyone. Beautiful. Wonderful. All right, we're going to make our way down to the floor. So if you do have a bolster or some pillows, let's take it with us. Make sure you have everything you're going to need for our Shavasana, but we're going to do some floor work first. So when you're ready, let's come down to the floor. We're going to come directly onto our backs. And let's make our way into our knees to chest. Now, if you have a bolster or a yoga block, just keep it nearby. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. Let's bring our knees towards our chest. I'd just like you to draw the knees in and maybe lengthen out the tailbone. Maybe feel free to rock your body side to side to massage the low back and the spine and the shoulders. Wonderful. Let's come back in towards the center. Let's set our feet down to the floor. Set the hands to the side of our body, and we're going to bring the feet in towards the glutes here. Make sure the hips, knees, and ankles are aligned as we come into our bridge. So as we press the heels into the floor, engage through the glutes, start to lift the pelvis. And I'd like you to pull in through your pelvic floor here. This is a very powerful, strengthening, pelvic floor strengthening pose here. So we want to keep the core engaged, the back of the body engaged, the knees wide. Now, as we're here in our bridge, we're going to invite that opening into the front of the hip flexors. Simultaneously, we're energizing and strengthening through the back of the body. And I just want you to take a moment here to notice that any parts of the body you might feel resistance. See if you can ease into that space and let that go. And that's like that shift in that attitude towards challenge, right? Is trying to let go of something we're maybe resisting against. On your next exhale, release your sacrum down to the floor. Bring your right knee in towards your chest. Lengthen the left leg, long, opening up the hip. Breathe in. Go ahead and lengthen the right leg and left knee pulls in, releasing the right leg long, opening up the hip. Good. Going ahead and bring both knees in towards the chest. Take the hands to the top of the knees and just open and come back to those hip circles. Maybe just a few in one direction. Good. And then a few in the opposite direction. Good. Go ahead and set the right foot down to the floor. Cross the left ankle over the right knee, opening up the left hip. Draw the right thigh in towards the heart. Finding our figure four. Go ahead, set that right foot down. Uncross the left from the right. Bring the right ankle over the left knee. Open up the hip. Draw the left thigh towards your heart. Release the shoulders. Remember that maybe we're not drawing the left thigh up off the floor or the foot off the floor. Maybe we're just keeping that figure four. And that might be enough for our hips today. Good. And go ahead and set that left foot down to the floor. Unwind the right from the left. And let's open the feet wide just to gently reset here with some windshield wipers. Just allow the knees to drift in and out. Some gentle movement in the low back. Good. Let's make our way back in towards center, and we're going to toe heel those feet so that they're directly in line with our knees and hips. And we're going to press into a little bridge here just to get that bolster underneath the sacrum. So when you raise yourself up, we'll set the sacrum or the on top of the yoga block or the bolster. Now, if you don't have either, you can just set yourself down in that knee position. And we're going to go ahead and take our right foot in towards our knee, and we're going to take the left leg up to the sky. And as you're ready, we're going to slowly drift the left leg long and extend it to the base of the mat as far as we can go. And this is just going to be a pretty big hip opener here. Always want to remember that low back pain is often a symptom of tight hips and maybe a core that needs a little bit more strengthening. So we want to first explore these options to be able to open up the hips, to be able to release the back, and to be able to release any tension you might have in the hips. Good. Let's go ahead and pull that left knee in towards the chest, extend the right leg up to the sky. And then same thing, go ahead and release the leg long, opening up the right hip, trying to reach that right heel as far down as you can go. And when you're maybe doing this, you might notice a little difference from one side to the next. One side might have a little bit more opening than the other. Try to just allow yourself to just be curious about it, not judgmental. Good, let's pull both knees in towards the chest. From here, we're going to set the hands to the side and draw the legs up into our candlestick pose. Soften the heart, soften the jaw. Good. Let's go ahead and bend the knees and set the feet down. And then when you're ready, let's go ahead and either move our bolster or remove our blocks from underneath our sacrum. You can move your bolster down towards the knees. If you're taking care of your low back today, I'd like you to either rest your knees on top of a bolster or keep your knees bent and knocked together in constructive rest pose as we make our way into our Shavasana today. As you come into our Shavasana today, which for some might be the most challenging pose that we've touched upon today. But it's really in Shavasana where the more we can embrace it, the more we can embrace change. We allow ourselves to be who we are, accept who we are, be open, be free. And I don't mean just be free physically, to just be relaxed, to allow our muscles to release. I mean, we allow ourselves to be. When you're ready, maybe you start to deepen your breath into the belly. Start to invite a little gentle movement through the fingers and the toes. Maybe just for today, we find our way onto the side of our body. Maybe not, whatever feels right for you. Just roll into fetal position or your favorite side and just take a moment of pause here. It's kind of that beautiful transition from where we were to where we're going. And whenever you're ready, we're going to go ahead and take that top hand and just press it into the floor and just lift our body off. Come into a nice seated position. Let's make our way into Sukhasana. Maybe you keep your eyes closed just for a moment longer. As we go into our 3 releasing breaths here, just to kind of let go of anything else that might be nagging. And just as we started, we're going to begin with 3 big deep breaths to the belly with a nice big release out of the mouth. So when you're ready, at your own pace, let's meet with our hands at heart center. Bowing down again to the light that shines within us all. Remind yourself of your intention that you set at the beginning of your practice. And remember that you can take that intention with you on or off the mat. May your heart always stay warm. May your smile always stay broad. And may the light that shines in me honor and see the light that shines in you. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you all so much for joining me today for our practice. I hope that you see the positive with challenge and the opportunity for change. So from my heart to yours, as always, namaste, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you, everyone. Oh, there are my hearts. Thank you for my hearts. I miss them. Whomever's taking their finger and doing this, thank you. Well, everyone, thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a wonderful day and namaste. See you soon. Bye, everyone.